What is going on, everybody? Today I am making a Marvel Rivals, basically a wish list for the next patch notes that are coming out on Tuesday for Marvel Rivals season 6.5. That is going to be dropping this Tuesday, that as of uploading of this video. And I thought, well, new season's coming up. It would be nice to perhaps, besides the new character, because we don't know exactly what she's going to do, that being Elsa Bloodstone, I would like to at least talk about these characters who, you know, some of them might need some love, a lot of them need to get nerfed. And so what better way to start off with the wish list for the patch notes than Hulk? Now, Hulk is a very fun character, all right? He's a very fun character. Now, the thing with Hulk, right, is that he, even though he is very fun, there are just other tanks that can do way more and you can get more value out of. And Hulk, unfortunately, is a character who suffers from CC. CC is this guy's biggest weakness, and unfortunately, I don't really know how they can like really fix him or buff him in a way that won't make him broken, because his monster form, they did make him where you can't push him around. He's basically like the Thing, right? And what's interesting is that this monster form, you pretty much can just kill anybody, that being tanks, that being DPS, supports. You can stall other people's like active ults by slamming them and whatnot. However, Hulk unfortunately just falls flat compared to the rest of the other tanks in the game, like someone like Groot, right, or Emma. So yeah, one thing that I would like for them to do with Hulk is for them to well, first of all, make it to where it's more consistent to hit enemies off, like the flyers. It make it more consistent in terms of like knocking them down, and also maybe reward people who actually utilize this the technique that most people aren't able to even land, right? So for me, it'd be nice if, like, I don't know, maybe like you get an Iron Man, you slam him down and he has vulnerability applied to him or something like that. Something of that nature would be pretty cool. Something that just rewards you for hitting those knockdowns and whatnot. Something that you're supposed to be doing as the Hulk, right? So that would be one of the things that I would probably say would be really nice for the Hulk. All right, next up, Groot. Groot is a very interesting character because he is very, how do I put it? Very broken in the right hands. Well, I mean, not even just in the right hands, but in most people's hands. If you like to play Groot, you're gonna get a lot of value with this guy. All right, the change they did to him, where this wall, this big ass wall right here, as long as you put the tree down, as long as you put the wall down, you are automatically CC immune. Well, not CC immune, but you cannot be knocked out, right? Or is it just straight up CC immune? Hold on. Okay, so it says Groot gains unstoppable. So yeah, so there you go. Wolverine completely nullified. There's really nothing you can do about it. He does really good damage. His walls, really good damage. If you like playing Fortnite, I mean, this is the character for you. His ultimate, obviously, really strong. His combo is just undefeated. And of course, for me, I probably say it'd be safe for them to just simply not touch him at all. All right, so this is a very interesting character. This is Doctor Strange, and he just recently got buff, as a matter of fact, and it's pretty cool because his buff just makes it to where you can actually, it's just more damage. It's a damage buff. It makes it to where you can hit those guaranteed kills when you ult, and they made it to where you can like cancel his flying ability. You can cancel it pretty much as soon as you activate it, but you'll still keep the momentum, so you can like in a way like bunny hop or just catapult your way into the enemy and get yourself a pretty nice launch for your ult. So something like that, right? Not bad. And then you just hit them with the guaranteed kill. This is really good. If an invis pops ult, you can potentially go in there, ult, and get an invis kill for free. However, I would say one of the things that's really annoying with Doctor Strange, I don't know, I might be alone on this one, is the portal. His portal is honestly just very annoying because for most people, I mean, definitely before they buff him, but now it's even more frequent where people just, you know, switch to Strange just so that they can get that portal in. I don't know if perhaps it would be better if they gave it like a little bit of a cooldown so you can't use it right away, or something to that nature. I don't know, but so far I'd say besides that, I'd probably say just keep Strange the same. I think he's really cool. The magic team up he has and the Wanda team up he has is really valuable, especially the magic especially the magic. We'll get to her in a bit, but especially the magic team up, it's really valuable. I think he should be a character that they should just not touch at all. Yeah, Captain America, he is he needs some sort of I'd probably say a little bit of a damage boost. Just a slight damage boost wouldn't hurt him, because unfortunately there's a character named Angela that can pretty much just do what he does but better. His shield is not that strong, and his cooldowns are pretty high. His running is not all that. Also, I think most people will just get value out of him just for the fact that he can stall normal, but there's so many characters in the game that can pretty much, you know, catch him trying to jump back and forth and whatnot. His ult is really strong. I think the ult they should keep the same no matter what, but I think a little bit of a damage boost, no matter what. One of his abilities, maybe his basic attacks or maybe a shield throw, would be pretty nice. They did buff him to where his shield throw is now 6 seconds, right? However, I think he's just a little bit vulnerable compared to a lot of the other tanks in the game, so a little bit of a damage boost would be pretty nice. But yeah, don't keep the ult the same, honestly. All right, Venom's another character who, in my opinion, they should just keep him as he is. He is really strong. He gets a lot of value by pairing up with a lot of flankers in the game. He is a really good distraction. He will not die easily, even if he gets CC'd. I mean, you would have to like CC him like 3 times or just at the right moment for him to like die, right? Because he does have, in order for him to activate his shield, he has to be low health. So if you can stun him right before he activates that extra shield, or you pull him, or you freeze him, or you stun him right before he you know, web zips away, that's pretty much his weakness, right? It's just like being able to catch him in that perfect moment where he can't really do anything and he just escapes. So, and his ultimate is really strong if you pair it up with other characters in the game. It has a really strong anti-heal, really strong damage, especially with like the Luna ult and Rocket ult and whatnot. You can pretty much do a lot with Venom. So yeah, I think he should be untouched. My man Thor. This is my main character pretty much since day one. This character has been received nothing but buffs. It's been nothing but buffs for Thor, and I think we're at a point where he is really good. I don't think they need to touch him at all. He's really strong. He's really good at close range. He's really good for poking a little bit. His ultimate is really strong, and he's really good at kidnapping. You can even flank with him. I like to flank with Thor a lot because you can just hit him with range attacks that do really good damage. They have no range fall off. You can snipe people with it. You can even get some surprise kills with it. So yeah, I think Thor, he's pretty good. Not as strong as some of the other characters, like for example Magneto. We'll get to him in a bit, but yeah, I think he's really good. I don't think he needs to be touched at all. All right, now we got to Magneto. Magneto, how do I put it? He is really strong. He is, in my opinion, the strongest tank in the game. He is one of the strongest characters in the game, period. And the reason for that is because, well, he has a really strong ultimate where if you use it strategically, you can negate a lot of ultimates that will just team wipe you, right? His ultimate is really strong. It's really good. You can destroy other people's ults and nullify their damage. It's really strong, and I don't know what they were thinking by giving him that Gambit team up, and not just that, but also giving him like his own bubble and then being able to cast another bubble. Like, it's so like, I don't know, man. I think I believe they did nerf the shield on his bubble because now he has 2 bubbles, one for himself and one for allies, but something tells me that they should probably make his weakness a little bit more exploitative, and therefore I think it'd be nice if maybe just reduce the health on his shield just a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, he's just a really strong character just because his ultimate just negates a lot of DPS's ults that are like active, like projectile type based ults, and you can just save your teammates from being wiped out with one ult. So he's really strong. He does really good damage. You can snipe with him as well. I mean, he has a shield and he has a bubble. He can protect allies. He can snipe. He has range attacks. I mean, what can he not do? And then that Gambit team up, it's just utterly ridiculous. It's really strong. So they might, in my personal opinion, his biggest weakness is melee characters. You know, like, because he's all about that shield and the bubble, but I feel like that bubble, the fact that you always have one and one for your ally, I think they need to nerf a little bit of how much shield he gets, or like the health of the bubble. I think that would be a little bit more fair for the fact that he has one of the strongest defensive ults in the game, right? So all right, so now we are here with this character. Her name is Peni Parker. This character is very interesting because for the longest time Penny was considered a garbage hit, and then eventually as time went on she got a little bit of buffs here and there, and then they kind of overdid it with the buffs. Like, the 2 biggest things that they gave her was that now her webs can now heal allies, not just herself, and it gives them the movement speed as well and the overshield. So basically all the benefits that you get from the webs you can now give to your allies. That is huge. That is pretty huge. That was a pretty big buff in and of itself. And on top of all that, they gave her the rocket team up, which gave you a second nest. So basically more mines that you cannot destroy, okay? Because any mines that are in the web cannot be destroyed, and therefore more turrets, or sorry, more nests equals more mines and just more areas for people to not be able to, I mean, she can cover a lot of ground. So, and she has had the highest win rate across across all ranks, I believe. And so I think them getting rid of the Rocket team up was pretty huge. Not a lot of people are picking her as much anymore, but I still believe she is still one of the strongest like setup tanks that you can play. However, she is a tricky character to navigate just because she's also one of those characters where if you buff her a little bit, she can be a little overpowered, or she can like, there's no like real balanced state for her. She's just kind of like, if you buff her a little bit, she's OP. If you nerf her a little bit, she's completely garbage. So in my opinion, I think it's better for her to stay as is. All right, next up we have the Thing. The Thing is awesome. He is just the ooga boonga gorilla punch. You know, he just holds one button and punches, and he leaps to enemies, he leaps to allies, he just punches. You hold one button, and you know, when they're low on health, you just do your 1-2, and that's it. If someone gets close, you just ult, and then like, you know, you get shields for punching people. He's a tank shredder. He has a pretty decent rush tool. This ability with the grounded is one of the really strongest abilities that this game can have currently. It nullifies any mobility ability. So for the most part, he can nullify characters like Spider-Man, Black Panther, Magic, right, Wolverine, and even someone like Daredevil. He's really strong against Daredevil, mainly because he can inflict the vulnerability when he leaps to enemies, and he can do a lot of damage, right? So I think Thing, his biggest weakness right now is the fact that poke is too strong. And what I mean by poke is that characters that have range, like for example Hela, Phoenix, Bucky, you know, Hawkeye, these types of characters who can do a lot of damage from far away. This is basically Thing's biggest weakness, and honestly I think it'd be better if they keep Thing as he is. However, I don't think it's a matter of buffing him. I think it's a matter of nerfing the poke characters, and we're gonna get that. We're gonna get to them in a bit here, but I think for now, I think Thing he's awesome. He's great. He serves a certain purpose. He's really strong. He's really good at what he does. So just keep him as is. Don't touch him at all. All right. So now we have Emma. Emma is a character that, my personal opinion, I don't know why they had to buff her, like her charge up rate. I think she was decent the way she was before, but now she's a little bit stronger because of the charge up rate. She is one of the most annoying characters to deal with because she is a shield character. She has the diamond form, which is really annoying. She's completely 100% CC immune. She does really good damage up close. She can grab you. The grab is basically like a 2-sec stun, and then if she kicks you, that's like another thing you got to deal with. So, and then her ult is just really good. Like Magneto's, it's a really strong defensive ult, and if you catch enemies like Star-Lord or Bucky or characters that are not CC immune, or you can even like go after supports to prevent them from ulting, it's a really strong ability. I think they shouldn't have buffed her, but at this point I feel like they're better off just not even touching her. All right, next up is Angela. Angela recently got nerfed. They lowered her shield from, I believe it was 350 to now what is it now? It was 350, now it's 300. So her shield is now 300. She can fly, she can kidnap, she's fast, and she has an ult that basically enables other characters to ult, making it easier to hit any sort of like offensive ult, right? Like a Moon Knight, Punisher, Magneto, or whatever it may be, makes it easier to hit them. She's really strong, and I don't believe she needs any buffs. All right, now Rogue. Rogue is a really interesting character because she is really fun to play, right? She is not, she's a 5-star for a reason. I think people overlook that because she is a really difficult character to play. You definitely don't want to run her as a solo tank. I think that's kind of ridiculous. She is not a shield character, even though like she has this like block thing that looks like a shield, but it's not a shield, it's just damage reduction. She has a lot of buttons, a lot of cooldowns, but I think that if you use her strategically, and especially if you have the Gambit team up, I think she's pretty much a really top tier character with the Gambit team up. Unfortunately, without the Gambit team up, she's kind of decent, and one of the main reasons for her just being all right is mainly because she has really long cooldown. Yeah, so Rogue that's pretty much her main weakness, is that she isn't a shield character. She has relatively low health. She has 675 health, and without the Gambit team up, she's kind of not that good, right? And her cooldowns are too high, and then obviously it depends on what the enemy team is running, because a lot of times it's not worth absorbing their power. But she's a really fun character. She does good damage. Her ult is really strong. If they were to ever buff her, I think they would just need to decrease the cooldowns on her, so you can like, you know, move around a little bit more and just do your abilities more often, considering that someone like Thing doesn't have any shields, but he can just hold down one button, do a lot of damage, get a lot of value from that, right? I think Rogue would benefit from just being able to have her abilities be used more often. All right, so now we have Tank Deadpool. Now this is I'm just gonna say this off the bat. I'm not gonna go over all the Deadpools. I think I'm gonna just say what I think about Deadpool on all three roles right here, right now, so we don't have to go back again and again. The tank Deadpool is the best Deadpool. He pretty much does everything except for healing. He has a shield. His attack speed buff is really good. And of course, the only thing I would say he suffers from is the fact that Deadpool, he's really good when he's fully upgraded. This goes for all the Deadpools, but if Deadpool were to ever get buffed, especially like tank or all three of them, I think it'd be better if they make it to where he get XP faster. I think that he would benefit a lot from that, because without the upgrades, he's just kind of like whatever, right? You're gonna get way more value playing other tanks than a naked raw Deadpool without upgrades. And the fact that you can only take the picture when you get a kill is really interesting. Maybe they can make it to where you don't need to get a kill in order to take the picture. I think that would be pretty nice as well. And now I'm just gonna go straight to the DPS Deadpool. DPS Deadpool, he needs he's 250 health, man. They need to increase his health because for the most part he doesn't do much more damage compared to like the tank version. And even though his katanas is really fun to play, right? He has a really fun play style, and I genuinely like the design of Deadpool and what they were going for. I think that he does too much things, and I think they were worried that he'd be a little too strong. But I think with the DPS version, I think it'd be better if they on top of increasing the amount of XP he gets, it'd be better if they just made him a 300 health character or something like that, just because it feels really bad when you're taking a lot of damage from a lot of other characters that are really strong compared to the DPS Deadpool. He can't 2-tap or 3-tap or whatever most characters in the game. He's just a really fun character, but I think the fact that you need to get the upgrades and you have to get the kills in order to take the picture, which is where you're gonna get most of your XP, I think that he would benefit a lot from just doing that. All right, next up is the healer Deadpool. Healer Deadpool, he is really good when you need to capture the point, right? He's really good at those early stages of the fight, especially when you need to push and attack the payload. He's really good for that because he can get his ultimate like immediately. He can also get his upgrades relatively faster, way faster than the tank version and the DPS version, because for the most part all you got to do is heal, right? And then when you upgrade his Lord icon, that's where you get most of your value from. It's just spamming the Lord icon. You're gonna get your ult really fast, and every now and then you're gonna get a kill. However, I also think that he's not that strong compared to the other healers in the game, especially because he is a hit scan based healer, and I think he would benefit a lot if he can just take that selfie pose without having to get a kill. All right, so I'm gonna just rapid fire here because there's a lot of DPS characters, so I'm just gonna go and just say exactly what I feel about a lot of these characters right now. So Daredevil, Daredevil's still really strong. He's not broken, but he's still really good, and I feel like he needs a little bit of a change, and that change is make it to where he can only get shields if he hits an opponent, and on top of that, make it to where the shields he gets has a lower cap, because I believe the cap for his shields is 400, or not 400, but like once you get all your shields, you're maxed out at 425. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he is just straight up like a monster. 425 I think is the highest you can go, but I think they need to lower how much shield, they need to lower the shield gap, they need to lower the shield cap. So instead of 425, maybe it's 400 or something like that, and also make it to where he only gets shields if he actually hits somebody, because for right now I can just do this, I hit nobody and I get shields. That's stupid. You shouldn't be able to do that. So I think that would be a good change. Punisher, Punisher's really good. I don't necessarily think he needs more buffs, especially damage wise. I think he's all right. I think he would benefit a lot if some other characters would get nerfed instead of just buffing Punisher, because Punisher is really good. It's just like, would you rather play Punisher or would you rather play Bucky, right? So that's the problem. So I think Punisher's fine the way he is. Now Storm, she got giga buff in one of the early seasons, and she was meta for the whole season. She was really busted. They nerfed her to the ground and she was unplayable, and then they buffed her. The most recent changes to her made her kind of mid, to be honest, but she still has that really strong team up with Johnny and Jeff, so there's that, I suppose. But in my opinion, I think they need to make not just Storm but all the flyers just a little bit faster, make it to where you can move a little bit faster, and I think they would excel pretty well, because it's really easy to snipe flyers in general. It's really easy to catch them. It's not that hard to kill flyers, right? So I think it'd be best if they like increase the movement speed a little bit. So yeah. Okay, now this is where I'm about to lose my mind. They need to make it for Hawkeye to where that bonus damage, you see where it charges up to 100, they got to get rid of that, bro, or something. Like, it's not cool that this character is the only character that you can one-shot. That is insane. And what's even worse is that you don't really gotta aim with them, bro. A lot of times you just like that. You saw that? Just like that. Like, if you're playing Widow, you actually gotta hit your shots, right? But with Hawkeye, you just randomly be getting headshot kills when it doesn't even, you don't even gotta like aim it that well, right? Because it's an arrow, you're shooting a whole ass projectile, and if that big ass projectile ends up landing on the head, it's an instant kill. So yeah. And also, tell me why this ult lasts 10 seconds. Why does this ult last 10 seconds? I don't know why this ult lasts 10 seconds. It is ridiculous. They need to lower the duration on that ult from 10 to maybe 6 seconds or maybe 5 seconds. It's too damn strong, okay? You cannot just take cover. If he sees you even one time, you're dead, right? So yeah, nerf Hawkeye. Yeah, it's not cool that he's the only character that can one shot. It's unhealthy. They understood the assignment with Widow. I don't know where that assignment went with Hawkeye. All right, Hela, well, I mean, she is gameplay wise really boring, because all she is just, she's just a hit scan, unga boonga, you know, just hit your shots and things die, right? Things die. And I believe her range isn't that, like, it ain't all that. Yeah, like, you can 2-tap to the head from all across the map. It's pretty crazy. They need to lower her damage. They lower her health the last time they nerfed her, but they made it to where you can cast the flying crow way faster now. So I don't know exactly what they can do. They can't lower her health any lower. So I mean, I don't know. Her ult is really strong too, but I mean, Phoenix is a thing, so you can just run Phoenix, and Phoenix does the same thing as Hela, except that Hela gets countered by Phoenix, ult wise. All right, next up is Black Panther. Black Panther is he's a very interesting character, because he's one of those characters where if you buff him even in the slightest, you will potentially create the biggest monstrosity known to mankind. A lot of people just simply cannot react to really good Black Panthers. However, it is really easy to counter him. It's really easy to counter him. So honestly, like, I don't know, maybe a rework is in place. I don't know what they can do. In my opinion, like, if they were to buff this guy, I think it'd be better if this like twirly thing, maybe you can aim it wherever you want instead of it just going in a straight line, right? Instead of going straight, you can like aim it up or aim it down, but you can only aim it left and right. So that's something. Maybe they give him that 50% damage reduction, which is okay. It's okay, right? You can still get stunned, right? You can still just die, right? So I don't know. He's really interesting. All right, Magic. I don't know if it's true, but I believe Magic is like the only melee character who has range fall off. So if you hit someone like that and then you come over here, yeah, look at the difference. Look at the difference. So I'm over here, and then look at the damage from that, and then look at the damage from this. Insane. That should not be a thing. Make it consistent. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Okay, like actually ridiculous. So yeah, just fix that and we're good. Moon Knight. Okay, here's the deal. This right here, you see this seasonal bonus? That wasn't there before. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. It's annoying as hell. Get rid of it. Okay. Squirrel Girl. She is really bad. She is a really easy character for people to pick up. You just aim and shoot. You just aim and shoot. You'll hit something. However, for the most part, she is really bad. She's not as good as a lot of the other DPSs. You're gonna get a lot more value with a lot of other DPSs. I mean, there's certain instances where you can pick Squirrel Girl and pop off, I suppose, but her ultimate especially is really bad, because you can, like, the moment you launch it, you can just destroy it, and it's pretty insane. I don't know, perhaps maybe making it to where you can't shoot down the ult, maybe increase the health on the ult. I don't know. Yeah, Squirrel Girl she's kind of interesting. She's kind of interesting, right? I think making it to where you can make it to where you can increase the health of her ult would be pretty nice, or just make it to where you can't destroy it, right? Maybe give her some ults. I don't know, that might be a dumb take or something like that, but Squirrel Girl is just not played a lot compared to like the high level DPSs, right? So something's got to be done. I don't know, give her shields, give her I don't know, just I don't know, she's just give her something. Black Widow. Okay, all right, so I'm not even gonna meme around here because there's a lot of memes to go around. I'm just gonna keep it short and simple. Black Widow just needs an additional she needs like a rework, not a complete rework, more like an additive rework. So what do I mean by that? I think her sniper is fine. You know, don't make it like Hawkeye where you can one shot, but perhaps, I don't know, get rid of this. She doesn't need this. Also, I think she should be able to just have infinite stamina, bro. She's a very professionally trained athletic assassin that has the same type of experiment done on her as Captain America. America. So I don't know why Captain America is able to infinitely run, but not Widow. I don't know what they can do. Give her Uzis instead of like whatever the hell this is. But I suppose that would mean that they would have to like redo all of her skins or whatever. Who cares? Give her Uzis. Give her a close-up like utility or something like that. For me, I was saying maybe give her anti-heal on the ult, right? Anti-heal and vulnerability. I think that'd be pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work to be done with Widow. She is really, really vulnerable to quite literally everything. Okay, so yeah, Iron Man. Iron Man suffers the same thing that pretty much every flyer in the game suffers from, and that is that he is really easy to shoot down. He is extremely vulnerable. He doesn't really have any way to protect himself, right? I know if he pops his if he pops his enhanced form, he gets some shields, but it's whatever, you know what I'm saying? It really is whatever. I think they might need a I don't know, man. Maybe make him faster. This is really slow. This right here is super slow, and I have a big ass hitbox. You're not going to box a Bucky, a Punisher, a Hela, Phoenix doing this or this. You're just not. The only way you can make this viable is if you have an invis like constantly giving you shields, right? So this is the only way you can make it work. I don't think it would be a good idea to give him that sort of thing, like a shield or something like that. This ult is really strong. Maybe make it to where you can move around just a little bit, right? I think that would be pretty nice. But yeah, just make him faster. Like make his basic movement speed faster. But don't affect this. This should stay as is. This needs to change. Make it a little faster, right? I don't care that he can fly or whatever. Like it's so easy to just gun him down. It's so easy to gun him down. All right, so here we go. Here's one of my favorite characters to play. Spider-Man. He is a like on the technical side of things, he is 11 out of 10. Like he is very, very difficult to play. He is extremely difficult to pick up. He is keybind heavy. If you're not on the keybinds, if you're not looking at his options, you are losing a lot of value. If you're not doing the same old combos that everyone's doing, where you know you're doing this and that, and you're pulling enemies here and there, and this and that, and you know, he is a character that pretty much needs something more to compete. He needs either a damage buff or I don't know. I mean, recently they made it to where his webs clusters comes back relatively just a little bit faster, but I think he suffers from the worst thing in the game has ever brought upon us, and that is triple support. He can just literally not kill anything in a triple support comp, right? Not even his ultimate. His ultimate does pretty much nothing, right, in a triple support comp. If the healers are playing patty cake, you're just not gonna do anything. Invis can just push you away. Cloak and Dagger can just phase away. Loki can just teleport away or put up lamps. Gambit can just helicopter away. He as a flanker, he is just annoying, but that's it. He's just annoying. But being annoying doesn't really provide much value. All right, so Wanda, I think the buffs they gave her is a good step in the right direction. A lot of people are playing her a lot more, mainly because they buff Strange. Now, I think that's fine, but I think something needs to be done with her ult. I think it needs to be a little bit faster because she is extremely vulnerable. I know that she does max damage with her ultimate, but you're gonna get shot down unless the whole team is playing around you. Even then, you're not gonna get that much value. She is just a hold one button type character. A lot of people say she's really easy to play. Mechanically, she's not that hard to play, but in terms of how much value you get because of her being that easy, I think is not worth it, right? I think if they made it to where, I don't know, maybe you gotta aim your shots, right? Kind of like what's her name, Symmetra from Overwatch, where she used to just like track enemies and whatnot, but now you actually gotta aim with her. I think if they did the same with Scarlet Witch, I think that would be pretty good, because clearly Scarlet Witch, same as Black Widow, she's just like bottom of the barrel. They just don't know what to do with her. She's only been receiving buffs, and yeah, I mean, she used to be a tank killer when the game first came out, but then they changed it to flat damage because she wasn't doing any damage to the backlines. So yeah, they just need to maybe sacrifice some of that easy gameplay for more damage. I think that would be pretty nice. I think more people would be down with that. But yeah. All right, so next up is Bucky. I'm just gonna keep it real. They need to revert a lot of the things that they've added for Bucky. So some of those things that they've added for Bucky is they gave him 2 of those bolt charges. They need to bring it back down to 1. They need to get rid of that uppercut where it does grounded. It's really, really toxic. Okay, that little uppercut shit that he does, and you can't move for like 5 years. They need to change it or just remove it. Maybe if they changed it to where instead of applying grounded, where you can't use mobility abilities. Make it to where it's the same thing that Thor has, where Thor, he applies what does he apply? It just makes it to where you can't fly. Oh, grounded. Okay, so that is grounded, but what is the it doesn't, okay, it doesn't say, but you get what I'm saying. Instead of making it where he disables your mobility abilities, he makes it to where you can't fly. I think that would be a decent change because it is really annoying. And also, can you make it to where you can't hook multiple people? That's so weird. That's so weird. But yeah, they need to revert some of those changes that they give Bucky. Star-Lord, he is a fun character to play, right? He is pretty much the tracer of this game. He has a really strong ult. He has a really strong ult. He's not broken. I think just leave him as is. I don't have a problem with Star-Lords. Now, Namor recently got buffed. His turrets now have more health. They do slightly more damage. Namor is now a beast. He can pretty much, you don't need a Hela, you don't need a Hulk, you don't need a Luna on the team to give you that bonus turret, which is so annoying, so cancer, right? Now he's just a really solid character, and I think he is good as is. I don't think they gotta do anything, no nerfs, no buffs. I think he's perfectly fine. Psylocke, okay, Psylocke is very she's interesting, right? Because a lot of people say she's really broken because they buffed her ult. They made it faster, where you can move around faster. And they made it where she's not really as much of an ult merchant, but she's still just that. She just attacks the tanks. When she has ult, she just goes in and she ults. She gets a kill. Cool. She doesn't get a kill, then oh well, just dash away, go invisible, and just rinse and repeat. So I mean, I don't know, because the healing is really strong in the game. If they are going to nerf the healing, then I think maybe just keep her the same. But yeah, I'm not too sure about this character. I don't really play her that much, and whenever I play against her, she's not really a threat. She's only annoying as hell when she ults because you can't target her when she's ulting. Once she's in her ult state, you cannot target her. She's just doing damage, right? So yeah, I don't know. All right, so now we have Wolverine. Wolverine is really good. He's not as good as he used to be because there's a lot of new characters in the game that pretty much counter him, right? Like Emma and Groot got that one ability where you can't even you can't move him at all. He's just immovable. However, Wolverine is still pretty decent at what he does. I feel like if they buffed him, he would be a little bit annoying, especially because he still has a team up with Phoenix. So I probably say, to be on the safe side, just keep him as is. Iron Fist got a buff this season, very slight buff. I believe it's the third, like that. I believe it's one of the second to last hit he does a little bit more damage. It just gave him a little bit more damage, so you don't have to always do the multi-hit punch, right? We can reserve that for escaping or using it against tanks. It just wanted him to be able to do decent damage against like the backlines, for example, right? I think he's fine as is. I think he will get more value just by nerfing a lot of the other strong characters in the game. So I'd say just keep him as is. Mr. Fantastic is garbage. They need to nerf buff him. Yeah, he's just very he's just whatever, man. He just, they need to buff him. There's more damage, do more damage, make him the only good thing about him is that he can just like be in the front lines and then just right. That's pretty much the only good thing about him. He can just like take damage, and he has really high health. So I'd say just make him do more damage, especially now in the meta of triple support. I think he kind of needs it as well. Johnny is a funny character because he used to dominate the game for a very long time, or not very long time, but basically for a whole season, and then they nerfed him to the ground. Very similar to Storm. They nerfed him to the ground. He was unplayable, and now they buffed him up a little bit, but he's still kind of like not picked that much, right? People will try and pick him, but he just doesn't get that much value compared to a lot of the other DPSs. I think he's also a character that would benefit a lot by giving him a movement speed buff, and also nerfing a lot of the poke characters in the game that are also very toxic in the game right now. Phoenix, I mean, she's a poke character. She's basically a better Hela, right? You could just do what Hela does, but faster. She instant transmissions. She can fly. She has a self heal, right? And this ability right here, it stuns, it does explosions. It's really good. Her ult is really strong. She immediately counters Rocket. She immediately counters Hela. She's just an overall just better Hela, and Hela is already really good. She's like S tier. Phoenix is also S tier. So they just need to nerf her. I don't know, nerf her damage, nerf her explosions, nerf her self healing, nerf her like reduce like I don't know, increase her ult charge or something like that. Like I don't know, but they need to nerf her. She's really strong and really annoying to play against. Blade is still garbage even after all the buffs and all the changes that they did to him. If you feels like they really want this guy to be the true anti-heal of the game, right? Oh, anti-heal on the ult, anti-heal on the shotgun, anti-heal on the sword. You can block and then run away, and then you have self-healing, this and that. I think they need to, I think it'd be better if they increase the anti-heal on this character, and also bring back the anti-heal on the shoddy, right? Because they got rid of the anti-heal on the shoddy and added it to the sword. However, it is less now because on the sword it's only 32% and the shotgun used to be 40%. So I think it'd be cool if the shoddy, they brought it back, and instead of 40% it's 50%, and then for the sword instead of 32% it's 40%. I think that'd be pretty cool. Also the ult is interesting. It's just that, you know, you want to use it to end the kill, right? You're not sure if you're gonna get the confirm, you can just ult right away and then quickly get that secured kill. Maybe apply a slow. I think a slow would be pretty nice because most people can just walk away, right? So yeah, I think they need to make him a true and like anti-healer. Don't be afraid to give him anti-heal. I think he's gonna be fine. And also revert the nerfs that they gave him to the shoddy. Make it to where his shoddy actually does more damage like it used to, and everything else I just said. So yeah. All right, Gambit got nerfed. He's no longer the most toxic brain dead character in the game. However, he is still highly banned, mainly because his ultimate, it just does everything, man. It does everything. You get faster movement speed, you get bonus damage, you get healing, you get cleansed, you know, you jump higher, and Gambit is really strong like in general. So in my opinion, I would just say either completely get rid of the healing from his ultimate, or make it where his ultimate just gives you a flat heal and then it no longer heals after that. It just gives you a flat heal and then that's it. So I think that would be a good change. It's mainly because of his ult that he's really strong, but besides that, I mean, I think he's fine. If they just get rid of the healing on his ultimate, or, you know, just give him flat heal and make it where he can't heal no more, I think that would be pretty good for the game. Loki. I hate this character because it always seems like this character just always has lamps up. Every time I go after Loki, he always has lamps. What's the cooldown on the lamps? It's 30 seconds. That shit needs to be 45 seconds. I don't care. Increase the health of the stones or the runes or whatever. Make that shit 40 seconds, 45 seconds. That shit's annoying. Also, they need to increase how much his ult charge, because a lot of the supports in the game, they ended up nerfing like their ult charge. But if you play Loki, you just get it before them, and yeah, he's really annoying. His ultimate is really cancer. It's really annoying. Yeah, nerf Loki, please. Mantis. So I'm gonna just say this outright for Mantis and Adam Warlock. So Mantis and Adam Warlock, they are really strong third supports. If you're running a triple support comp, Mantis is usually the one you want to pick because she's just the easier character to do damage, and you can just give the buff and the healing to your DPS, and she has a pretty decent ult, right? Gives movement speed and a lot of shields, so she's pretty good. Unfortunately, these characters, they're not that good in a two support comp, like 2-2-2. They're not really good, like Mantis, Luna, Adam, Luna, they're not that good. But triple support, they're broken. So what I would say is to nerf every other healer in the game. Just nerf the healing, and that way it makes these characters more viable in those team comps. Now Rocket Raccoon, this shit right here went from 45 seconds to 40 seconds. Why? I don't know, but this needs to go. This needs to go back to 45 seconds. I know that they nerfed his like his dash or whatever, or the movement speed from his wall climbing. It's still annoying. He is just so boring of a character, bro. Like the fact that all you do is this, that's all you do. That's all you do. You don't even gotta aim, bro. You just look at the person and you just, that's it. Yeah, I would say make it to where I don't know, Rocket, he's I would just say just revert the change they did with his BRB, and that's it. Like just revert those changes. Cloak and Dagger, her ult, I don't know how most people would say or feel about it, but I think the damage that she does when she ults needs to go away, because this shit is so fucking annoying, bro. Like it does really good damage, bro. If you're on that shit, it does good damage. Like the healing is really strong, and then you do this and it's easy, right? I'd say just get rid of the damage or just lower the damage on her ultimate, and I think we're fine. I think we should be okay. Luna is not that good compared to like Invis, Cloak and Dagger, Gambit, Loki. She's not that good, mainly because her ultimate takes far like more energy than the other characters, and she's a hit scan, so people can't aim. It's easier to just play someone like Rocket or Jeff and just hold a button and look a certain direction and things get healed, right? So I think she is fine as she is. I'm just gonna say like just keep her as is. All right, Jeff, he is annoying because all you do is this, things get healed, things take damage, and then and someone comes near you, you just do this. So this gauge needs to drop faster. This gauge needs to drop faster. You shouldn't be able to like spam it all the way through, right? I don't think you should be able to do this. Maybe give it like a 1-second cooldown, right? So you can't spam it, right? Because doing this is annoying. Or make it every time he goes underwater, it takes a good chunk of his gauge with him, so he can't just spam it over and over and over. And that's it. Invis, get rid of this and we're good. Ultron. He used to be my favorite character. Unfortunately, he is also a triple support type of character, and I think he would benefit a lot just by nerfing the other main healer, the healer bots, right? If they end up nerfing the other healer bots, I think Ultron would be pretty good. Maybe revert the change of the damage, like that little damage nerf they gave to him. Maybe if they revert that and then keep everything else the same and then nerf the healer bots, I think he would benefit a lot just by that alone. And yeah, that is it, guys. That is basically my wish list for next season. You know, there's a lot of biases in this, mainly from my experience. I can't really help it. I know some people have like other opinions on like what characters needs to be buffed and nerfed. I'm just going off based off like how much people use these characters and how effective they are, right? It's not every day that you see a Black Widow and they do really good. Usually it's rare for people to pick Black Widow, and it's also rare for them to do good on Black Widow. So it's just a double negative, right? So yeah, I think by getting rid of the main annoyances of the game, for example, Hawkeye, if they mainly nerf Hawkeye, Hela, Phoenix, Bucky, and they nerf Gambit, Loki, Invis, let's see, maybe Magneto, they nerf Magneto a little bit, I think the game would be in a much better state. The game has too much CC. It's really annoying. A lot of people just play the same character. You know, it sucks that a character like Deadpool comes out. He's one of the most unique characters in the game. No, he is the most unique character in the game, and people immediately dropped him off. People stopped playing him. People stopped trying him. People didn't want to learn how to play him. People didn't even bother because it's just way easier for them to pick someone like Bucky and just unga boonga their way into ranks, right? So, and I mean, can't blame it. Most people, such as myself, we're more excited for the patch notes and the balance changes more than the actual characters themselves, because the characters themselves, I mean, look at Blade, one of the most anticipated characters in the game. Comes out, he's garbage. Look at Deadpool. He's not garbage. He's just really mid, right? He's just really mid. And who knows how Elsa Bloodstone's gonna be. Hopefully she's really good. I hope she's not a DPS. I hope she's a tank or a healer. But I am really looking forward to playing her, and I'm also really looking forward to seeing what kind of changes they do to these like main culprits, these main server admins, right? So, but yeah, guys, that's about it. See ya.